Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's professional meeting. As members of the Student Innovation Unit Task Force, our objective is to evaluate the 5 solutions presented in Group 7's pitching session. Today, we'll review the proposal, discuss their feasibility and impact, select the most suitable solution, and determine the next course of action. I encourage everyone to take part in the discussion and share their perspective professionally. And by the end of the meeting, we should be able to agree on the most suitable solution. Shall we begin? All right, let's start with solution 1, the digital proof of work and AI declaration form proposed by Harris. Erisha, would you like to begin?
Thank you, Anis. Personally, I think this solution addresses a real issue. Many students are worried about AI detection software and the possibility of being wrongly accused of plagiarism, even when they have completed the work themselves. The idea of requiring students to submit a process summary together with an AI declaration form could improve transparency. Lecturers would not need to rely only on AI detection tools because they would also have evidence showing how the assignment was completed. However, I think the main challenge is implementation. Lecturers already have a heavy workload, so reviewing additional documents for every assignment could take a significant amount of time, especially in large classes. To make this solution more feasible, the process summary should be kept short and follow a standard format. Overall, I think this solution could be effective in reducing disputes about AI usage, but its success would depend on how efficiently it can be implemented without creating too much extra work for lecturers.
All right, thank you, Erisha. You highlighted an important balance between improving transparency and avoiding additional workload for lecturers. While the proposal could help address concern about plagiarism and AI usage, implementation efficiency would also be a key consideration. With that in mind, I'd like to hear another perspective. Ain, what are your thoughts on this solution?
Thank you, Anis. So I mostly agree with Arisha. So I like the fact that the solution promotes ethical AI use rather than banning the AI completely. But however, I wonder whether students might simply fabricate their process summaries. If that happened, lecturers would still have difficulty verifying the authenticity. So, although the proposal could reduce stress among students, I am not fully convinced that it solved the problem completely.
Thank you, Ain. That's an important point. Although the proposal encourages transparency, its success may depend on how honestly students document their work. So, Alia, would you like to add your perspective?
Yes, thank you. I agree that transparency is important. However, I think the effectiveness depends heavily on student honesty. I also feel that the solution focuses mainly on documentation rather than improving students' learning experience. Therefore, while it might help with academic integrity, its impact on educational outcomes seems limited.
Thank you, Alia. That's a valuable observation. Beyond academic integrity, we should also consider whether a solution contributes meaningfully to students' learning outcome and long-term development. And I'd like to hear another perspective. Diana, what are your thoughts?
I generally agree with the previous speakers. I think this proposal is practical because it can be implemented using existing university platform without requiring significant cost or resource. It can also help reduce student anxiety by allowing them to explain how they use AI in their assignments. However, I think its effectiveness depends on students being honest in their declarations. While it improves transparency, it may be not fully solve the issue of AI misuse. Overall, I believe this is a feasible solution because it focuses more on managing the problem rather than addressing the root cause.
All right, thank you everyone. Let's move on to solution two, the AI powered soft skill enhancement platform. Ain, would you do the honor to start our discussion?
Yeah, of course. So this is actually my preferred solution. So many graduates possess strong technical knowledge but struggle with communication, teamwork, leadership, and also interview. So I like that the platform uses AI simulation to create realistic workplace situation. So students could practice presentation, interviews, and conflict management while receiving personalized feedback. So what makes this proposal attractive is its scalability. So university could implement it without requiring large physical resources. So I believe it has a strong potential to improve the graduate employability.
Thank you, Ayin. You highlighted several strengths of this proposal, particularly its focus on employability and its ability to provide practical learning experience throughout AI driven simulation. Since graduate readiness is a major concern for many universities today, this solution appears highly relevant. Arisha, do you agree with these points?
Yes, I do. In my opinion, this solution addresses a gap that employees often mention. While technical skills can be learned through university courses, soft skills usually require continuous practice and feedback. I think the real time feedback feature is the strongest part of the proposal because it allows students to monitor their progress and identify areas for improvement. If implemented well, it could help students develop communication, teamwork, and leadership skills before entering the workforce. However, I am concerned about the cost and feasibility of developing such a system. Building and maintaining an advanced AI platform may require significant funding, technical expertise, and also regular updates. The university would also need to ensure that students actively use the platform for it to be effective. Overall, I think the idea has strong potential, but its effectiveness would depend on whether the university has sufficient resources to implement and sustain it in the long term.
If I may respond, Anis?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
So I understand Arisha's concern, but however, many AI technologies already exist today. So universities could adapt existing platform instead of building everything from scratch. Therefore, I think the implementation cost may be manageable.
That's actually a fair point, Ain. I agree.
Thank you both. This exchange highlights an important aspect of decision making where we need to consider not only potential benefits of a solution but also whether it can be realistically implemented. So far, we've identified strong employability benefits as well as manageable implementation possibilities. So, Alia, what is your assessment of this proposal?
I strongly support the solution. Unlike some of other proposals, this one benefits students throughout their academic journey and even after graduation. It also aligns closely with workplace expectation because communication and teamwork remains essential despite advance in AI.
I agree as well. Another strength is sustainability. Once the platform is developed, thousands of students can continue using it every year. Therefore, the long-term impact could be very significant.
All right, thank you everyone. So overall, it seems that this solution offers a strong educational value, particularly in promoting deeper learning and independent thinking. However, concerns have also been raised regarding user engagement and implementation complexity. With that in mind, let us move on to solution three, Socratic AI Learning Coach. Alia, would you like to start?
Certainly. I think this is one of the most innovative proposals because it changed the way students use AI in their learning process. Instead of giving direct answers, the AI guides students through questions and encourage them to think critically and find solutions by themselves. This helps students understand the subject more deeply. As a result, this approach can reduce overdependence on AI and improve students' analytical and problem-solving skills. These are important abilities that will continue to benefit them throughout their studies and in their future careers.
I agree. The educational value is very high because students are required to explain their reasoning before assessing answer. However, some students may find this process slower and less convenient.
I agree with Diana. While it promotes deeper learning, students may become frustrated if they need quick assistance. Its success would depend on whether students are willing to engage with the learning process.
As for me, I like the concept, but I think implementation may be more complicated than the soft skill platform because it requires redesigning AI system themselves. So another concern is whether students would consistently use the system. Some students might still prefer AI tools that provide direct answer because they are faster and more convenient. Even so, I think the proposal have potential because it encourages students to become more active learner rather than relying entirely on AI.
All right, thank you everyone. Now let's move on to solution 4, the Smart Study Kit program. Diana?
Okay, I believe this proposal addresses an important issue that is often overlooked in discussions about digital transformations, which is digital inequality. As technology becomes increasingly integrated into education, students are expected to have access to laptop, stable internet connections, and various software applications. Unfortunately, not all students have the same financial resource. The Smart Study Kits program offer a practical solution by allowing students to borrow device and internet equipment when needed. I think it is realistic because many universities already have systems for borrowing books, laboratory equipment, and other educational resources. One advantage of this proposal is that it promotes fairness and inclusivity. Students should not be disadvantaged simply because they cannot afford the latest technology. By proving by proving by providing access to essential digital tools, university can help create a more equal learning environments.
I agree. The social impact is strong and it promotes equal educational opportunities. However, the solution depends heavily on funding and equipment availability.
But there's another challenge, which is the maintenance and the replacement cost. I'm also concerned about whether the resources would be sufficient for all students who need them. If demand is high, university may face difficulties ensuring fair access to the equipment. So, nevertheless, I think the proposal promotes inclusive and can help to reduce the digital divide among students from different backgrounds.
That's true. I support the objective of the solution because it focuses on helping students develop important skills that are useful for their future careers. However, compared with some of the other solutions presented, I think its impact may be limited to a smaller group of students. The benefits are likely to be greater for students who actively use the platform and are motivated to improve their soft skills. In contrast, other solutions may address issues that affect a large number of students across different faculties and academic levels. Therefore, while I believe the idea has value and could be effective for its target users, its overall reach and impact may be more limited when compared to solutions that can benefit a wider student population.
All right, thank you for the discussion. It appears that this proposal addresses an important issue of educational accessibility and inclusivity. However, questions regarding funding, maintenance, and long term sustainability remain significant considerations. Finally, let's discuss Solution 5, the AI Ethics Sandbox.
I think this proposal is interesting because it combines transparency with ethical AI usage. Students can experiment with AI while generating reports that show exactly how they use the technology.
I agree with Arisha. The built-in ethical coach is a unique feature because it encourages learning rather than simply producing answers.
However, I feel there is some overlap with Solution 1. Both focus on addressing AI-related anxiety and academic integrity issues.
I agree. Although innovative, the system appears technically complex and may require substantial infrastructure.
Thank you, everyone. We have now reviewed all five proposed solutions and considered their strength, limitation, feasibility, and potential impact. Before we proceed to voting, I would like each participant to briefly indicate which solution they support and explain their choice.
I support Solution 2, the AI powered soft skills enhancement platform. The main reason is that it addresses a gap that employers often highlight. While technical skills can be learned at university, soft skills such as communication, teamwork, and leadership require continuous practice. I also think the real time feedback feature is useful because it helps students identify areas for improvement.
I also support Solution 2 because of its practicality and long-term benefits. What stands out to me is that the student can develop these skills throughout their university journey instead of only preparing for employment at the end of their study. So I also like that the platform can be updated to match changing workplace needs, making it relevant in the long term. So for this reason, I believe Solution 2 is the best choice.
My first choice is Solution 3, and after listening to everyone's opinions, I still believe that it is the best option. This solution is very innovative because it changes the way students use AI by guiding them through questions instead of simply giving their answers. This approach encourages students to think critically, find solutions on their own, and develop better problem solving skills. It also can reduce students' overdependence on AI and help them become more independent learners. Although the other solutions have their own strengths, I believe solution 3 provides the greatest long-term benefits because it helps students improve important skills such as critical thinking, independence, and decision making. Therefore, I continue to support solution 3.
I understand your point, Ayla, and I agree that Solution 3 is innovative because it encourages students to think independently rather than relying on AI for direct answers. However, I still prefer Solution 2 because it addresses a wider issue that many graduates face. While critical thinking is important, employers also place a strong emphasis on soft skills. I think Solution 2 has the potential to help more students develop these skills and better prepare them for the workplace. What about you, Diana?
In my opinion, I support solutions too as well. For the reason is that the platform provides continuous learning and personalized feedbacks, allowing students to improve their soft skill over time rather than through a one-time training seasons.
Thank you for sharing your views. Based on the discussion and voting result, the majority of participants support Solution 2, the AI-powered soft skill enhancement platform. So I also support this proposal because it addresses a key gap between university education and workplace expectation while offering long-term benefits for students. Therefore, AI-powered soft skill enhancement platform has been selected as our recommended solution. Before we conclude, let's discuss our next course of action. I propose that the Student Innovation Unit conduct a pilot program involving several faculties to evaluate the platform's effectiveness. The collected feedback can be used to improve the system before a wider implementation. So, does anyone have additional suggestion?
I agree. We should also involve industry partners so that workplace simulation reflect the actual professional simulation situation.
I agree with that recommendations because a pilot program will allow the university to evaluate the platform effectiveness and identify any area for improvement before implementing it on a larger scale.
I support both suggestions.
Likewise, those actions would strengthen the project's elements.
Okay, thank you everyone for your valuable contribution and active participation. So to summarize today's meeting, we've reviewed all five proposed solutions and discussed their strength, weakness, feasibility, and sustainability. We also have selected the AI-powered soft skill enhancement platform as the most suitable solution, and we agreed to recommend a pilot implementation involving universities and industry partners. If there are no further discussion or any comments and questions, I would like to end the meeting. So thank you everyone and have a pleasant evening.
Thank you,
Thank
Anis.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.